Now, as you can see, we're on a quiz and we have the listen button just like we did before. Same tool that we have in content. You see we have all of our tools. I have adjusted the reading speed back down to a normal reading speed. Otherwise, what I had it set in content will carry over. If I click listen, it will read the whole page. However, I only want to read the first line of this, so I'm going to highlight it and click listen here. Notice when I click listen, the regular player does pull down within view.
You can save your response to each question as you work through the quiz.
Okay, now let's actually start the quiz and see how this new feature works. We're very excited about it. Notice that we have a listen player, a web reader player, or a listen button, whatever you want to call it, right there on each individual question. Now what's going to happen is if you click listen, it will only play the one question. It's not going to keep playing on down the page. You can combine this with any of the tools on the lower toolbar. However, if you choose page mask, you do need to click listen first before clicking the page mask, because the page mask works like a sheet of glass in front of things, so you can't penetrate through the glass to get to the listen button. You just click listen and then turn on the page mask. I'm just going to use listen, and we're going to listen to our first question.
Which of the following tools use Web Reader? Mark all that apply. Select 3 correct answers. Assignments or Dropbox. Discussions. Content or lessons. Quizzes.
And we know that answer now is assignments or Dropbox, content or lessons, and quizzes. If we go on down to question 2, this time I'm going to use enlarged text and click listen.
I use DocReader to read which of the following file types and content. HTML, MP4, MP3, Office files, DocX, PPTX, XLSX, PDFs, plain text, and rich text.
And it would be this last one. All right, I'm on my last question. And for this one, I'm going to use the page mask and I'm going to use listen. But I need to turn off the enlarged text first, otherwise we'll have that going also. So I'm going to click listen and then page mask.
I need to use the TextAid extension to read news, discussions, rubrics, and grades. True. False.
And it's true. And we'll be talking about that shortly. Now I'm going to submit my quiz and we see our attempt. The next thing I want to show you is an assignment. And for an assignment, I still have the tool called Dropbox. It's also assignments. It works the same way. And when I click on the file, you see that I have the regular web reader player right up here. It has all its tools and it will read any of the functional parts of the page. Now, a functional part of the page are things like the instructions right here or the instructions down here. A rubric is not part of the page, so it's not going to read your rubric. And of course, within the WYSIWYG editor, it's not going to read that. But it will read all of these instructions up here, which many students do need. You have all the features that you have normally with it. And if you highlight, you see we have the translate, we have the dictionary, we have the listen. So you've got all those features to help learn how to use that.